Hello, Year 7. I hope you've had a fantastic holiday, a nice break at least. Welcome to Lesson 1 of the spring term and your first lesson of online learning. I hope you really enjoy your lesson today. I'm just going to introduce the lesson and then Miss Clinton will be delivering the rest of the lesson, and I'll pop up on the last slide just to say well done. So here you can see a list of the equipment you will need for today's lesson. So you will need your exercise book, your Spanish exercise book from class, a pen and a ruler, your knowledge organizer for module 3, and this is attached on class charts. Now you can, if you like, print off both pages if you have a printer and stick them in your book on the next 2 pages before you start to do now. Or you can leave 2 pages free to stick them in when you get back into school, and I will give those to you. It's your choice. You will need it open on a tab though if you do not print it, just to help you through the lesson at times. If there are words in the knowledge that are not in the knowledge organizer, you can also open a tab on wordreference.com, so you can Google that, wordreference.com. It's an online dictionary which can help you with any words that you can't find in your knowledge organizer. So that's a good one to open as well. And please email me if you've got any questions about today's lesson, and here's my email address. So pause now and get everything ready, and then we'll go to the do now. Okay, Year 7. First of all, in the top right hand corner, I would like you to write the date, martes 5 de enero. Then I'd like you to write on the next line down, en mi tiempo libre, which is a title, meaning in my free time, and underline that neatly in your book as well. And then on the third line, I'd like you to write the objective, objetivo, to say which hobbies you do each day. So pause to do that now. Okay, your do now activity should take no more than 5 minutes. I want you to, within 5 minutes, try and write down as many pets as you can in Spanish. Now you can look back in your book for this. Okay, and I want you to use the Scrabble board below, and each letter has a number, so you need to write down the Spanish pet name and then add up the number of points for that. So for example, cobayo is worth 13 points. Can you beat that? How high a score can you get? How many pets can you write down in Spanish using the Scrabble board? Don't spend any longer than 5 minutes on this. Muy bien. Adios. I'll now pass you to Miss Clinton.
So for homework this week, please spend 30 minutes on the Quizlet, completing the Learn, Write and Test sections on the flashcards entitled Mi tiempo libre. Your teacher will have put this on class charts for you. So let's get started with some pronunciation. Here you'll notice we have the sentence builder, which you're well used to now. And we'll be answering the question, ¿Qué haces en tu tiempo libre? What do you do in your free time? So repeat after me. ¿Qué haces en tu tiempo libre? Muy bien. Let's start with the days of the week. So repeat each phrase after me. Los lunes, los martes, los miércoles, los jueves, los viernes, los sábados, los domingos, los fines de semana. And now let's have a go at the activities. Again, repeat after me. Juego al baloncesto. Juego al fútbol. Juego con mis amigos. Escucho música. Me quedo en casa. Termino mis deberes. Veo la televisión. Hago deporte. Hago la equitación. Hago la natación. Voy al centro comercial. Voy en el campo. Muy bien, Year 7. I loved how you were pronouncing your V's like B's and your H's were silent. Excelente. So we're now going to have a go at ping pong. Now you will have done this lots in class as well. Essentially though, this works with me saying one word, you saying the next, me saying the next, etc. So we alternate saying the words. So we'll start off with the question. For example, I would say ¿qué? You would say haces, I would say en, you would say tú, I would say tiempo, and you would say libre. Then we would go down in chronological order of the days in the week and the activities. So for example, we would start by saying Los lunes juego al baloncesto. On Mondays I play basketball. Los martes juego al football. On Tuesdays I play football, etc. So alternating the Spanish. Let's start then with the question at the top. ¿Qué? Your turn. En tiempo libre. Muy bien. You go. Lunes al los juego football. Miércoles con amigos. Jueves música. Viernes quedo casa. Viernes mis los veo televisión. Domingos deporte. Fines semana la los hago natación. Martes al comercial. Miércoles en campo. Excelente. Lovely pronunciation, yes, 7. Let's have a go at Intruder. So again, you will have played this at school. Essentially, I'm going to say a sentence in Spanish. However, the verb I'm going to say in English, so that will be the intruder. I'd like you to write down that verb in Spanish. So for example, if I said, Los lunes I play baloncesto, you would write down juego al. Okay, if I said los martes I stay en casa, you would write down in your book in Spanish, me quedo. Let's have a go together. So number 1, los miércoles I do deporte. And you should have written hago. Muy bien. Let's have a go at another one. I'll repeat it twice. Los jueves I go al centro comercial. Los jueves I go al centro comercial. Pause your video to write down the Spanish verb. And you should have written voy. Muy bien. Let's have a go at another one. Los sábados I play con mis amigos. Los sábados I play con mis amigos. Pause your video now to write down the Spanish verb. And you should have written juego. Excelente. One more. Los viernes I stay en casa. Los viernes I stay en casa. Pause your video to write down the Spanish verb. And you should have written me quedo. Fantástico. So, you will see there's a series of questions here, and this is going to be another speaking activity. So I'll ask you the questions on the left, and I'd like you to respond with something different. So on each day of the week, an activity that you do. Of course, you can make it up. It could be anything from the vocabulary we're just using in the sentence builder. So you might need to go back a slide if you can't remember. So for example, I would ask you, number 1, ¿Qué haces los lunes? What do you do on Mondays? And you reply with something like, los lunes veo la televisión. So let's have a go. You may want to pause the video after each question to give you time to reply. ¿Qué haces los lunes? ¿Qué haces los martes? ¿Qué haces los miércoles? ¿Qué haces los jueves? ¿Qué haces los viernes? ¿Qué haces los fines de semana? Muy bien. So we're now going to have a go at delayed copying. Again, you should have had a go at this in class. You will see each sentence for 20 seconds, in which time you need to memorize it. You'll then need to pause your video to write down the sentence that you've been memorizing in Spanish. You'll need to write it in your exercise book. So let's have a go. Remember, you can't start writing it until the sentence has disappeared and I say go. So here's your first sentence. I'll give you a 20-second countdown. Okay, now you may write down the sentence you saw in Spanish. Pause your video now to do this. And here's sentence number 2. Again, I'll give you 20 seconds to learn it. Please now pause your video to write down that sentence in your book in Spanish. And number 3, again, 20 seconds. And please pause your video to write it down. And number 4. And please pause your video to write down the sentence now. And number 5. And please pause your video to write down the sentence now. And number 6. And please pause your video to write down the sentence in Spanish. Okay, Year 7. Now let's check your answers. Please pause the video as much as you need to make any changes, any corrections to your spellings. So number 1, los lunes juego al baloncesto. Make sure, please, that you remember to include al as well. And we're talking about sports, playing sports. We always use juego al and then followed by the sport that we play. Número 2. Los martes me quedo en casa. Número 3. Los miércoles hago deporte. 4. Los jueves voy al centro comercial. 5. Los viernes veo la televisión. Remembering that there was an accent on your O there for televisión. Y número 6. Los fines de semana termino mis deberes. So, Year 7, you're now going to translate those 6 sentences into English in your books. You can then have a go at writing 3 more sentences of your own and translating them into English. Please pause your video now to translate those 6 sentences in your book. And let's have a look at your answers, Year 7. Please, again, remember to pause the video as much as you need to make any changes. So number 1, on Mondays, I play basketball. You may have just written on Monday as well. Number 2, on Tuesday or Tuesdays, I stay at home. Number 3, on Wednesday or Wednesdays, I do sport. Number 4, on Thursday, I go to the shopping centre. Number 5, on Friday, I watch the TV. You may have written the television. That would be fine as well. And number 6, on the weekend, I finish my homework. Excellent. Well done if you got all of those correct. So now let's make it a bit more tricky. You're now going to translate the following sentences from English into Spanish. You only need to write down the Spanish. So try and do it without looking back at Sentence Builder. Try and do it from memory. Pause your video now to have a go. And let's check through your answers, Year 7. Número 1. Los viernes hago la natación. Again, make sure you've added your accent to your O there. O natación. Número 2. Los fines de semana escucho música. You have another accent on your U, música, so make sure you've added that. And again, you may want to pause the video if you need to make any changes. Número 3. Los jueves voy en el campo. Hopefully you remembered as well, los jueves, although we pronounce it like an H, it's written with a J. So please make any changes to spelling there if you need to. Número 4. Los miércoles hago la equitación. And you had an accent on your O there of equitación. And finally, number 5. Los martes juego con mis amigos. Here we don't need to say al because it's not followed by a sport. We want to say I play with my friends. Con means with. So therefore you don't need to write al there. Pause your video if you want to make any more changes. And just to finish off Year 7, I'd like you to spend 5 minutes filling in the gaps to the following sentences. Please write the sentences in full. For example, number 1, los jueves juego con mis amigos. See, I would write down in my book, los jueves juego con mis amigos. Pause your video now to have a go at numbers 2 to 6. And let's check through your answers. Número 2. Los fines de semana me quedo en casa. Número 3. Los viernes juego al baloncesto. Número 4. Los sábados termino mis deberes. 5. Los martes veo la televisión. Número 6. And remember as well, there is an accent on your I of televisión. Okay, and número 6. Los lunes voy en el campo. Excelente. Again, you can pause your video Year 7 if you want to make any changes there.
Excellent work, Year 7. Really well done. Please now upload a photo of the work from today's lesson and put this on class charts. Please email me if you've got any questions whatsoever. Gracias. Adios.